Alright, starting the stream a bit weird. Well, I say stream, but technically recording. Okay, so welcome back to Stein's Elite IT and Gaming channel. Don't mind my glasses. I can't seem to get them on my head right for one today, and two, I for some reason can't seem to get them clean. I try to clean them and they still seem fucking dirty. I think they're just fucking scratched and I need a new pair. But welcome back to Stein's Elite IT and Gaming. I am back here again. This time I'm not doing Fortnite right now. This time I'm doing on a virtual machine, I will admit. This is a virtual machine of the exact same desktop environment that I have for my tablet, which is crap. Um, 1 second. I totally did not prepare for this, did I? No, that's not what I want. I want this off for a moment. I'll be back. Alright, so headset back on. So this desktop environment isn't exactly the same because currently my computer is using a graphics card in it, so it's gonna run a little more powerful than this thing, to be honest. I got, oh god damn it, I forgot about that, didn't I? Alright, so let's just do this real quick. Alright, so to make it easier for everyone to see, so this thing right here, this is an ONN 2-in-1 tablet laptop. I call it my HACKPAD, to be honest, because I put the exact same environment that I have on this virtual machine on this thing. So this thing not only runs very well and very smoothly with the resources it has, I gave the virtual machine about the same resources of RAM and CPU cores and all that as this machine has in it, and I gave it the same storage. So they're just about the same machines, basically. Right now, I've started a fresh setup on the virtual machine. It's not quite up to par with this thing because there's tools on this that the virtual machine doesn't have yet, but we're going to install those today and get that all set up. So basically, I wanted a mobile IT support kind of machine, something to do with networking off of, that would be very portable and very easy to carry around. I could have easily, probably, well, I shouldn't say easily because for me it's difficult. I could have probably done this in a better way, like a Raspberry Pi or something else and all that. But for whatever reason, I wanted to turn some old hardware of mine that I've had for a few years now into something new, and I wanted to give it something actually useful. And the fact that it's a little tablet and all that is amazing. It's a laptop tablet. It's an own on-brand 2-in-1 tablet laptop with touchscreen and everything. The beauty of this software is, or the desktop environment that's installed on here, is the fact that not only does it run very smoothly on this thing, but it also runs very nicely with the touchscreen capabilities. Touchscreen keyboard or virtual keyboard included, called the Squeak board on Linux. This thing runs so beautifully and it's so amazing. I will probably do another stream or another recording of this on the tablet using the OBS that I have on here to show off the Squeak board and other things I can do on here because it's just so amazing to me, okay? I'm not gonna lie, it's so freaking amazing to me how it works so well with this. And because of it being Linux rather than Windows, there's not all that bloatware and shit. So it runs so much smoother than it's ever done in all the years I've had this thing. It's freaking amazing. And I wish people had at least some basic knowledge of using Linux because I believe, in my opinion, that Linux is better in the regard of less resource usage or consumption. So it saves on storage, RAM, CPU. It saves on so many different things. The problem that I have with this desktop environment on here is while it does bear on the resources, there's something with the power consumption that's not right that I'm sure there's probably a config file I need to configure to fix the battery consumption on this because it drains so quickly. I mean slowly. It's slow slash quick, okay? It's like about every couple minutes is about like 2 to 3% or 1 to 2% battery life. It drains fairly quickly and such, even on idle. So fairly slow but fairly quickly and such. So I got a little bit of time to use this thing. I need to do some with the config file to see if I can't fix that to make it so the battery will last a little longer on this thing, or do configuration with the brightness of the screen or something, because this thing is a great machine now that I've configured it the way I have, but it could be better, and it could be exactly what I want it to be. I call it the HACKPAD. I know, very weird and all that, unusual, but I made this thing specifically for me to do networking with on the go. Networking, IT support, and such, all the necessities that would be very nice to have and such if I'm out in the field ever helping somebody with their computer or their network issues. So, ethical hacking and such, as you know, and all that and such. Stay safe, be bright, make sure you have proper permissions from the proper channels to doing all your stuff. Don't just go off of, hey, I bought this Wi-Fi, or hey, I own this Facebook page and all that and such. Do not go through people like that and such and just do whatever the fuck you want to their page or their stuff, because unless you have permission given to you specifically by the company that owns Facebook or by the router's company, unless you have specific permissions by the actual owners or creators, don't do it. Just don't break the rules, okay? And such. In my opinion, I'm not a rule breaker. I will admit I kind of put myself in the gray area at times because am I just as likely to do something bad? Yes, I am, but I more often than not and such will try to do the right thing, and even though I have the knowledge to do something bad, will more than likely not use it half the time. So, advisor, this is supposed to be educational. I don't plan to do anything bad with this and such. I just want to show off what I've done with this and hopefully help someone else who might try to do a similar thing with their tablet, so they can make their computer a little nicer, in my opinion. But anyways, let's get to it and such. I'm currently 7 minutes in already. I'm really sorry. I've been sitting here ranting and nerding out over this and such, and I've got stuff to do. I've got files to install, software. Well, I mean files, software to install and such, and set up on here, and settings to alter on this, and I've got so much to do. As you can see from the screen and all that, I have software to update and such because this is a fresh install of the Debian Linux software operating system, and it's running a GNOME, or GNOME, I prefer to call it, and such, desktop environment, which works stupendously with this tablet. Touchscreen capabilities and all works stupendously amazing. I love it. I actually didn't think GNOME would run as well as it does on here as it does on here, but it runs very smoothly, surprisingly. Because for me, in my past experiences, GNOME has always been so beefy when it comes to resource consumption. So the fact that it runs on such a compact tablet and the resources on it is incredible to me. They've really outdone themselves with a lot of the work they've done over the years. So, literally giving life back to this old machine that literally is barely usable with Windows on it. So, pretty darn amazing. All right, here we go. Let's get into it now. All right, first things first. You can do it the other way and such. I usually do it through the terminal and such, but on here you have which one is it? Is it Synaptic Package Manager? It might be software. It is what it is. But on here you have the software, and you can just do your updates and restarts from here and such for most of the software you have on Linux. It makes things a little easier having this, to be honest. I uh, I tend to prefer using the terminal and such because that's kind of what Linux has always sort of been about and such, as using terminal for all your tools and all your changes and configurations. So I've more or less just gotten used to using that, and I enjoy using that greatly. You can enjoy using it on my Windows machine. If you're wondering why I'm not, oh crap, let me fix this. Sorry, I totally forgot my camera was still big. All right, let's zoom this back down. All right, so uh, yeah, it's not there now, but you might have seen earlier that it popped up a little message saying I had updates on my machine. Well, you can either go to the store or the software center on here, and you can do all your updates from here, which would make things easier. A lot of Windows users will probably do this because it's a lot easier for them, a lot easier to understand, such having a store or software center to work from for their updates and installing applications. I find this to be a great place as well, or a great tool, anyways, to use for different things. But to each their own. I more often than not will choose the terminal if I can, or if I have the knowledge for different applications or tools to install. But if you're fairly new to this and you want to do this as well, I'd suggest starting out and such before messing with the software installs and builds. Instead of messing on the terminal and such, unless you're on a virtual machine, then just do what you want basically on virtual machine, because if you break it, you can just make a new one. Okay. But on actual hardware, I wouldn't do that. I would not recommend that. There's so many things can go wrong doing it that way. So many things can go wrong, and you can even brick your machine, and it's really shitty. Because trust and believe, I've bricked my machine at least 4 to 5 times in my lifetime so far in all the years I've been learning to do stuff like this, and that's been like well over 5 to 6 years now, well over, to be honest, that I've done it, and it's been 4 to 5 machines that I've totally bricked and made completely unusable because of it. So I'd highly suggest, if you're new to this, don't do terminal, do through the store. It's pretty simple. You should understand. Just click to go and all that, and update your stuff or install. It's basic click and go type thing. But for me, I'm probably going to update this using terminal because I'm just more used to it that way. apt is your package manager, I believe, and you can do -git as well. A lot of people do. I usually just shorten it up because you can do it and just do the update part. You tell it the update, you give it your password or your root password because your admin password for this, basically super user, whatever you want to call it. And now to upgrade. Alright, so you can do basic upgrade and such, and that would be fine for this. I usually go dist upgrade because then it just upgrades everything to do with this distribution. Gets all the extra shit. Now, before I start installing tools, which I'll probably be installing through the terminal instead of the store, like I said, store is fairly easy. You can just basically, when you're in the store, let me go to it first of all. When you're in the software center, basically, it's pretty simple. You can just go here and type in what you want to look for on here. Be very careful with the store because there are some things I've found, like there was an incident I watched on YouTube by Linus Tech Tips where he was trying to set up his machine for, he's trying to use Linux and all that, and it was either in OBS he tried to install or Steam that he tried to install, in which it basically removed his entire desktop because when installing software, it has an option in which it can remove uh, items. Let me see if I can pull it up actually. Okay, I can't get it to pull up right now and such, but when I uninstall a software, I can do the auto remove function, and it'll give me a little area below. That'll give me a list of the things that the files or the extra extensions or stuff for the tools or applications that I want to remove as well. But when it does that, some things that you don't want to see on there is like anything to do with desktop or GNOME or the environments that you're running, because if it removes all that, you basically lose this whole freaking desktop experience. It basically goes bye-bye, and you get stuck with just the command line shell, in which case at that point you're basically just using the terminal. There's literally nothing else. It's literally just the terminal at that point. And if you're new to this, I would suggest not just running terminal, because the shell is going to be an absolute pain in the ass for you to learn everything, and so many things can go wrong if you're a very new user. I'd stick with installing something that looks comfortable to you. I chose GNOME for this because it works best for the tablet, touchscreen capabilities and all that, as well as the virtual keyboard that I can get on here. It works really well, in my opinion. But that's what I'd suggest if you're doing with a tablet. But if you're doing with a regular machine, I'd suggest something lightweight that doesn't use very many resources, like an XFCE environment or LXDE or something. Those are pretty lightweight. Or Mate is pretty good as well. I usually like XFCE4 because it has a nice look to it and it's lightweight on resources. Some apps will require some extra configuring to install on there, but yeah, just like you can run Windows apps on Linux, you just require extra extensions to be able to run those applications, they won't run very smoothly because they're designed for Windows, or some applications are designed for Windows. So they won't run very smoothly because they'll be emulating on the machine. But maybe that's all stuff I should be explaining later. Right now, I should be installing stuff on here and getting my machine set up. So let me do that real quick, actually. Because when I normally started this machine, when I first started, the first thing I did was I tried to clear up as much space as I could by going to the store and uninstalling all the games, because I wanted this strictly for IT and networking, so I didn't want it to be cluttered with games that I wasn't going to be playing or using. Didn't want to have its space taken up, so I freed up a lot of the space by removing applications that I didn't need, or games. Obviously, I kept documents and all that. I could do this a lot easier another way, but doing it this way. So we're going to go through and I'm going to delete all the games that I don't have a use for. And then I'm going to start installing tools after that. Every time you do this, it's going to want your super user password if you set it up the same way I did, where you don't have where you are the super user basically. So it's going to do it this way every time. Yeah. But if you set it up that you aren't the super user and that there's another super user, then you have two passwords, one for your account and one for your super user password. I don't like doing that and such because it just overly complicates things for me right now. So I usually just stick with this usually. At some eventual point, if I need to, I need to. If someone comes in and breaks this and then I need to fix the root user and such, I have ways around that too. But I'll worry about that when that gets there and such. We're actually going to be installing security tools as well. That's going to hopefully avoid situations like that. But if anyone is inquired to try and break into my stuff, such as this virtual machine, I don't really approve of it. I know there's people that are going to do it anyways, to be honest, but I don't really approve of it. But if you do that and such, I guess to each their own, pretty much. Like I said, virtual machine, I can just rebuild if I need to, but I will do everything in my power not to have to rebuild and just fix the issue. So if you do decide to do that, I really wish you wouldn't, but you'll do what you want to do pretty much, no matter what I say. Uh, so I'd like to be snarky and egotistical and advise you not to and such, that'd be very dumb or stupid of you to do and such, but that just inspires people to do stupid shit anyways, so when you tell them they can't or they shouldn't, so I usually just don't even worry about it at that point. If they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it and all that. I'd like it if they wouldn't, but I'd like it if they'd be nice enough and respectful enough not to, but they're gonna do it if they want to do it, so best I can do is try and make my security as best as I can, which I granted it probably isn't an amazing amount of security that I put on these things. I should keep chess on here to be honest, because chess is a nice game to have on the free time. Don't need videos because I'm gonna be installing a different app for that. While it is a nice default app and such, I have a different app that I like to use that uses that will play any video format. It's called VOC. Uh, Probably show and explain each of these individual apps as needed in different videos so that y'all can get a handle on this. I'm hoping to try and make this as minimal of a video as possible, like 40 minutes at the most, but if I can't, then I will always start another video of this at some point. Maybe I should have kept Solitaire on here when I did this last time on my tablet. That probably would have been a fun game to play in my free times as well. Oh well, the more space I have, the way better it is. Alright, so hoping friends of mine will watch these videos and such and enjoy the learning content. If not, it's perfectly fine. I'm not offended and such that my friends are not that tech savvy and such. Whether they wish to learn it or not, I'm not that upset about it. I'm just here to give the best advice that I can and show off what I've done both to my machine and what other people can learn to do with theirs, and try to help as much as I can. So the whole point of this channel and such is Stein's Elite IT and Gaming. Gaming for the fun times, give you a little bit of entertainment, and IT for a little support and help with your tech, because not everyone can really get this or really enjoy doing this. So having a helpful tip every now and again is kind of nice to have. Not having to learn and do it yourself and just getting me advice to do it is really nice to have. So I found it to be very useful. But I actively enjoy computers and software. I actively enjoy this stuff. I know that's a bit weird for some people, but this is something that I greatly enjoy. This is my Saturday night or my Friday nights. This is my fun times outside of video games. This is something I actively enjoy doing. Um, so yeah, kind of ranting on here right now. You're probably getting bored of listening to me talk, to be honest. I know some of my friends will. They'll probably be like, Jay or Stein, you should totally dumb this stuff down. Oh shit, I did let that slip. Alright, my friends mostly call me JJ and such, okay? Not gonna lie, I really shouldn't do that out there and such, kind of dox myself, I guess, in that way. But, yeah, most of my friends usually call me JJ. But, my channel is called Stein's Elite. It's just sort of a nickname I had for gaming. So, um, but yeah, Stein's Elite IT and Tech, IT and gaming experience, so. I hope to get more tech videos in to help both my friends as well as people who look me up or look up this stuff. So I hope to be as much help as I can, and I appreciate any comments or thank yous I get. You don't have to pay me, you don't have to tip me or anything like that and such. I appreciate helping. Just a thank you would be nice and such for the knowledge I give. May not be amazing knowledge, and it may be knowledge that other people may present as well, but I will present whatever knowledge and experience that I've had throughout the years and throughout the moments, not just through videos I've watched of other people doing this, but also through my personal experience with this stuff. Give sort of my opinion to this. Alrighty. God, it's gonna take a hot minute. Sorry, I could. There's probably a way I could totally just go in and I could view an entire list of all the applications I have installed on here through the software center. I'm pretty sure, but this is the way I did it on my tablet, to be honest, and this is the way I'm gonna do it on here. It'll be a lot easier when I get on the terminal and install tools that way. I think I might do something really nice. I think I might install a tool through the software center or an app through the software center so you can see how that looks, and install software through the most of my software through the terminal. That way you can see what both look like, just to sort of give you a handle of what it looks like. So yeah, depending on how much I rant on here and how long it takes to do this stuff, this may be a longer than 40-minute video. Really don't want to do that considering how long it's going to take to upload this, but we'll see where it goes. Unpin this because I don't need it there. We're definitely unpinning this because I am doing exactly what I did on my tablet and such, so that way I have exactly the same tools and all that same browser. I do like Firefox. It's free and open source. It's a lot easier, a lot better to use in the regards of I wouldn't say security, but more freedom in what you can do with it, to be honest. It is secure-ish and such, but because it's free and open source, it's secure to a point. As secure as the user makes it. I like Firefox because it's probably the only browser that's going to currently be able to. Mozilla is probably going to be the only one that's currently going to be able to use ad blockers because after a certain point, I believe Chrome is going to be disabling the functionality of ad blockers on most of their browsers, or Chromium, anyways. So that means Brave and all these other ones are going to lose the functionality or need to figure out another way to block ads because that's where a lot of them have their big money makers is blocking ads. So a lot of them are going to have to figure out an alternative way of doing this. I know you're probably going to be upset being like, I don't want to have to type a password in every time I install or uninstall an application. Well, you're going to kind of hate it, but you're going to kind of love it at the same time because not having this functionality means that anyone can just come in here and uninstall or install whatever the fuck they want and such. Even somebody who remotes into your machine, which is completely possible if you enable the functionality of shelling into your machine wirelessly. You don't have to have that function installed, so that's probably the alternative or ultimate way of avoiding that kind of security is not having that functionality installed. But I have it installed on mine because I actually like to use the shell function from time to time. So I don't know if terminal still works without the shell function, but I'm pretty sure it does, considering the fact that it's just the shell. The SSH, or remote shelling, secure shell, is where you remote into stuff. But the shell that you run like bash on here is completely different, I'm pretty sure. So if you don't have OpenSSH, you just won't be able to remote into your computer, but you should still be able to use the terminal in the shell. So the bash shell, or born again shell. I'm saying a lot more stuff that nobody's going to understand, but I'm hoping in each of my IT videos I will better explain each of the things I'm talking about in this video. I probably won't remember half of what I talk about in this, but I will plan to do a video fully on like different aspects of the computer. Might rant on about more stuff that you don't know, but like I said, gives me plenty of ideas and plenty of other things to make videos about when it comes to IT. So fun times, pretty much, or at least fun times in my opinion. Not everyone enjoys computers as much as I do, but for those who do, congratulations. It's definitely a fun time, and it's never going to get old, and there's always going to be changing experience. Just like video games and anything else in this world, it's always going to be changing. So hope you keep enjoying it. I know I'm enjoying it more than I probably should, to be honest. Um, yeah. So let's go, like I said, remove all the games because we're clearing up as much space as we can. We want this machine that is only 64 gigs, by the way, in physical storage. Add an SD card for extra storage on here. But and a micro SD card with 256 gigs in for extra storage, just for document storage mostly, and some applications depending on what it is. But most of the stuff will be on the default 64 gigs that it comes with. So, but yeah, um, we're gonna be installing whatever tools we want to install on here that I have on the same tablet and all that, and uninstalling the ones we don't need, pretty much. So, yeah. We'll be using a couple different applications as well. I might, at a later point when I upgrade the storage on my physical hardware for my device, I might see about setting up a virtual storage device to basically pretend to be my extra storage, my extra 256 gigs. Might see about doing that at a later point when I have the extra storage capabilities to do that outside the virtual machine. But until then, it's fine the way it is right now. Alright, so now we go through here. And do we own any games? Nope, we just have the browser. Alright, so we're getting rid of the browser. Oh, I can't do that because I need to install one, don't I? Alright, here we go. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that one on the Software Center, and everything else is going to be done through the terminal. So on your Software Center, you can install tools by just looking them up. Like, I just looked up Chromium, which is a web browser you can have, to be honest, on here. You basically go on here, you look up the tool you want. You have different options sometimes. This is just the default resource repository for APT, the package manager on here. This is the default that you're going to have, but you can set up for Flatpak or Snap packages as well to run through your Software Center. I'm probably going to stick with the default for a while now. I don't think I have a use for Flatpaks anytime soon, just quite yet. So I'm going to stick with the default, but this is how you install applications on here. I'll even show you some more common ones that a lot of people use, like OBS and Steam. I'm probably not going to install Steam or OBS through this, but I'll show you that you can look them up, or whatever tools you're desiring or needing. I might look up VLC to show that off. That's the video player that I'll be using that will work with any format as far as I know. I even use VLC not as just a video player, but for also playing music as well sometimes. So, yeah. 29 minutes in. Whatever I don't get to done today and such, we got more to do tomorrow. It's no big deal. I'm not that concerned about it. It would just be nice if I got it done. If you're wondering what I'm doing off to the side, I'm messaging and chatting with friends mostly on my phone. So it's whatever. God, is this really gonna take forever for the Chromium web browser? That is just annoying. Should have done this on terminal. Probably would have been different. Actually, I am curious though and such. Maybe I should open up Resource Monitor to check and see what the resource consumption is happening here, because it is looking a little lackluster right now. It looks like it's slowing down a bit. So I wonder what it's using. Okay, 100% CPU on one core and almost maxing out on the other. Holy shit, that really fucking eats it, don't it? That is nasty to look at. So by default, you'll be using like maybe 1 or less gigs at times and such for the RAM. CPU will idle out and such evenly after a bit. As it's a little warm, it may speed up a little bit, and your networking will just vary from time to time. But looks like it installed Chromium, which is good. I'll uninstall Firefox after this, but let me show you. If you go Steam, what was that in my background? Okay, so I guess not Steam on here. Let's try OBS. Yep, OBS Studios on here. You can look up other games as well. I usually, if I have the capability to, I'll look up Pinball. Pinball is usually a pretty fun game. It's 3D Space Pinball. Somebody remade for Linux, which I think is amazing. I think it's a flat pack, to be honest. But 3D Space Pinball, y'all probably remember that if you're my age, or from my time anyways. 3D Space Pinball was a fun game I like to play on the computer. Uh, Still do from time to time. If I could have it on here, probably would, but that would just take away from me using this as a networking tool, because if I spent all my time gaming on that thing, be stuck here for a while, and we're not going to do that. So, alright, so besides that, what else do we got? What other tools? Oh yeah, VLC. VLC was the other tool I wanted to install. This is the video player I usually install both on Linux, but I also install it when I'm on my Windows machine as well for playing videos, because this will play literally any video format, literally, or music format as well if you want to use it as a music player. I like using VLC. It's funny, it's a caution cone. You usually avoid those, but this is actually a pretty good one, to be honest. This one does some pretty cool shit. I installed OBS obviously on the tablet so that when I stream or I record videos like this, I can record them on the device that I'm showing off right now or trying to show off in the virtual environment. I'll hopefully start another stream or recording at some point on the tablet itself so I can show off the environment and what I have installed on there. But I'm going to install as much as I can before having to get off here and explain more to you about that afterwards. So pretty darn excited about this, not going to lie. I hope to explain more about this desktop environment and everything to do with it. So maybe someone who's either doing the same project as me with a portable machine, or someone who is also installing Linux on a tablet will be inspired to learn from my experiences as well. So, or if you're doing virtual machine at some point, maybe I'll do a fresh install of this environment before I've actually fully installed it, so I can show you the process of what you would do both on virtual machine or if you're on regular machine, basically how I install a system using Debian. So using taskcell is what the tool is called on Debian, but you don't really have to worry about that if you're installing it on a USB flash drive, booting it. So we're not going to really worry about that. So pin to dashboard, because I want this thing right here. Same thing with you. I like to have the media up there, and then I like to have usually either my LibreOffice Writer or text editor, which is mousepad basically. I like to have one of the two up here and such to write with, but I'm not sure about it this time. I think I can just stick with the terminal. I'll save mousepad for another day. Alright, so I want to uninstall this, that's right. Now that I have, fine, you want to do it that way? Alright, I'll do it I'll do it that way. I'll do it that way. We'll remove the tool using this. Firefox-ESR. So this is how you normally remove a tool or application is you give the name of the tool or application and you remove it using the repository with this command. So obviously you'll need to put in your super user or root or admin password or whatever it is. But once you put it in, then you just hit Y to confirm and N to not confirm it. That's the size. This is the size right here of how much it takes up on your device. This takes up 257 megabytes on the disk for this application. You can also hit enter instead of Y and it'll do the same thing. But once you remove it, then to make sure there's no excess packages on here, you can go back and use this command and it'll basically make sure everything's gone. If nothing's gone on there, it'll show up a list of stuff to remove on there. But yeah, if there is stuff, and then you just hit yes or no if you want to remove it. And I usually do yes, because I like to have a clean workspace to work with. But now to install the stuff I normally like to install on here, so it's going to be sudo t install. I like to install tools like wget, git, htop, btop. I'll explain these each tools and such when I get the chance. LM-sensors gives me my sensors for my temps and all that. Nano for my text editor. Tor and proxy chains -ng are normally what I use for networking across on the Onion router or the Tor servers. I do like to use Lynx, which is a terminal-based web browser, which I found to be quite amazing to use. I like to use Mutt, which is a terminal-based email client. I find that one useful as well. I'm pretty terminal-based when it comes to my tools and applications. I will have tools and applications that don't require the terminal that you can run, and I can show you how to run those as well. But for the ones that are terminal based, I'll show you how those work as well and explain in as much detail as I currently have knowledge of. Another one I like to use or have been starting to like to use is WeChat. It is an IRC or Internet Relay Chat service or client that you can use on your terminal. You can get IRC chat applications like HexChat, which is a more GUI based or image based like the terminal right here. It's more like this. It's more like a window and all that. Basically, it's basically just a messaging system. I'll show and explain that more later on as we go. The next thing I do is obviously I install base tools that I might need, like LibreOffice if I don't have it, GIMP for image editing, VLC, that stuff. Basically for any of the excess stuff I want to have on hand. We're going to do OBS-Studio to install that on here so that I have that to use for my video recording. Won't do it on here on the virtual machines. Won't do the video recording in here, but I'll be doing it on the actual hardware, the HACKPAD as I call it. I'll be doing it on there, so just installing the tools so we have basically the same tools that I have and applications that I have on my HACKPAD pretty much. What else do I have on there? I have aircrack-ng. I've got Wireshark, Wi-Fi, Hydra, Hashcat. Will admit these tools probably aren't most commonly used by people for networking or IT, but I use these for those things as well as cybersecurity because I do cybersecurity for my friends, checking their software, making sure their shit's secure, and if their shit is not secure, helping them secure it, or if their shit has been compromised, helping them re-secure it. So it's a very fun time, in my opinion. I like to install stuff like ClamTK for an antivirus program and GUFW for the firewall. The firewall gives a little extra security and protection to your device and will, in my opinion, from what I've seen it do, lock ports. Like I usually use the default home edition, and it locks out the SSH connections. So if I try to shell in from an outside source to my machine, the firewall usually blocks it. I imagine there's probably a way to break through that, to be honest. I'm sure someone out there has that capability, but I have not figured out a way to do that, nor have I had the intention or desire to do so. If that moment ever occurs that I need to know that or would like to know that, I will probably learn how to do it just so I can better defend against it, so I can help people through that situation when a firewall is breached, because I know firewall being breached is common in movies and all that. I imagine it's very likely common in real life too, but I haven't found the desire for that functionality of knowledge yet. When I do, though, I will be taking as much research into it as much as I can, and giving the knowledge as best as I can to people out there like you or like me that might use that knowledge. Uh, until then, I'm just installing the application, and then besides all of that, I believe I need Python 3 for if I want to use Python coding at any point. I feel like I'm forgetting something really important here. I've already got transmission. I've already got cheese for the camera. Oh God, what am I forgetting? I'm forgetting some. Oh, just for the fun of it, C Matrix, because it's a cool waterfall effect on your terminal. Gives you kind of the Matrix view. I find it great. Or Figlet, if you use that, you can like do little emotes and stuff in your terminal, and it appears like an image on your terminal. And I find it to be pretty entertaining to work with. If it'll let me, we're going to do arc-theme, papyrus-icon-theme, and breeze-cursor-theme, just to install some themes for the computer. These are themes that I have found that I like, that I've seen people use, and hopefully it'll allow me to install them. If not, it's perfectly fine. I'm perfectly content with that. Also, almost forgot, it's probably installed by default, but I do like tmux, which is a terminal multiplexer that runs inside your terminal. While I could easily just do this to give myself another tab of terminal and then be able to switch between the two, I do enjoy tmux because tmux is a tool that does basically the same thing inside your terminal. Inside this area, and such, it does its own little terminal windows and all that, and I find it to be a pretty handy tool from time to time. So those are the tools I believe I want to install. Also, if I can, Realtek-firmware and IWL Wi-Fi-firmware. I might have those backwards. Yeah, I have those backwards. Alright, so we're gonna switch these out because it's gotta be firmware dash them. So this is just extra stuff. These are like extra packages for the firmware that I would use for different adapters, such as Wi-Fi adapters at times. So this is just so I have that for the extra capability. Because not all Wi-Fi adapters are installed by default. So if you have to install them on a machine, you need to have that firmware installed on your machine to compatibly run that Wi-Fi adapter, or Bluetooth. Another tool, if you don't already have it, is Blues or Blue Man. Blues or Blue Man. Like Blue Man is Bluetooth Manager, or Blues is also another Bluetooth Manager. That's for running Bluetooth. By default, you should already have Bluetooth on your machine. Like I know I don't on here because it's a virtual machine, but on my tablet I do have running Bluetooth, which is amazing. So that should, okay, proxy chains did not want to work. Why? Let me go back up there and see. Oh, because I missed the H in it. It's supposed to be chains, not canes. Proxy chains. Now before I do this, I wanted to see if I could install new. Of course I couldn't. Nope. What I probably can install though is this useful tool. Can I? I can. All right, cool, cool, cool. So I'm just gonna install that with the rest of my tools. That's a tool I don't have on the tablet yet, but I do plan to install on the tablet because it is actually a pretty good and useful tool for researching stuff on through the terminal. So I'm gonna install that so I have it. I'm gonna install it on the tablet as well next. That way I have it. And yeah, so should be all set now. Let me check what I have that I'm installing. Alright, it should be good now. Alright, we're at, oh shit, I'm at 45 minutes. Fuck me. Well, let's see if I can get through this real quick. And then we're gonna end the video and I'm gonna start back up again later, showing off some different aspects of this on either the tablet or the virtual machine, different applications, and explaining them in as best detail as I can. But it's 45 minutes, so after this is done, I'm gonna shut it down. The reason why I say that is because one of the applications, Wireshark, when you install it, will ask if you want to restrict it to only admin users can use it, or if anyone can use it. I usually restrict it to only admin users, so you require your admin user or super user password to use it. It just makes it more secure, in my opinion, so not just anyone can do it. You could hit no and just have it to where anyone can use it, but if anyone can use it with full privileges and all that, kind of it's kind of nice, just easier that way. But I just prefer having that extra level of security. So yeah, tomorrow we're gonna, or next time I do a video on this, I'm gonna show off the firewall, my antivirus, and other things, other tools. I'm probably gonna show off firewall first because I want to explain how that works, and then I'm gonna go along through the different tools that I have on here, so you can see what I have application-wise and what tools I have that I like to use on the go or on the daily. It'll either be on the virtual machine that I show this off, or it'll be on my tablet. If I do it on my tablet, that'd be great, but we'll see where we go from there. Until then, we'll be finishing up basically after all these are downloaded. Uh, Only one pop-up will appear and such. When the pop-up does, after that is probably when I'll close the video, and that should be the pop-up for Wireshark. So when that gets going, it'll be great. And then after that, I gotta upload this thing. Oh god, it took forever for a 40-minute video to upload onto YouTube using my device. I don't even want to imagine what fucking 49 to 50 minutes is gonna take. Oh, crud. Well, this will be fun. Crap, I just realized I probably shouldn't let it be so quiet, to be honest. What should I even talk about? What should I rant about while I wait for this to go? There's probably a way I could speed this up, to be honest, because I know a lot of people use editing skills, but I'm not quite that good with OBS, to be honest, to really do any editing skills. So it's kind of a waiting game right now, I'm sorry to say. My network is not amazingly fast, so I'm sorry. It's kind of a shit show when it comes to speed. I'm not running amazing internet, and I've tried reworking it to be faster, but I tend to clog up the internet when I do that. Because if I make it run too fast on the transfer out, it cannot pull in fast enough on the other end. And when it tries to and such, it usually clogs up the system fairly well and makes it very difficult. I don't like having to restart my box every time that happens, so I just sort of left it at a lower default, but as fast as I can make it, as fast as I could make it without causing problems, pretty much. So, which fast as my internet moves is about 10 megabytes per second download speed, and that is not amazing. It is not anywhere close to the 50 to 100 megabytes per second that I've seen people have on their internet speeds, which is astonishing when I see people use that. But I guess that's what I get, so for this internet, you work with what you got, as they say. When you ain't got much and money's a problem, you kind of work with what you got. Make use of what you can. Like for the longest time when I was limited to one computer and not really able to go out and get myself a machine or get any old machines to work on and all that, I was limited to this flash drive, which I reworked or reformatted to be a Ventoy flash drive, so it can boot multiple systems, and I would use it to basically boot different systems to run on my computer usually, or install on my computer, or help people with their IT using this usually. So help people with their computers using this thing, whether it be recovering their password for them to get into their machine, or it be using to recover files on a machine that's basically dying or dead. So it's a pretty nice and handy dandy tool. I might show off Ventoy a little bit later on, so you can see that in action at some point. Uh, but yeah, I'm sure there's a few people that did videos on that already, but I'm gonna do that too, just so people here can watch and see. Okay, I'm not sure how I feel about what I'm seeing here actually. Temporary failure resolving. Oh no, not this again. I'm gonna get errors. And those errors are gonna lead to me not being able to install the applications. Oh no. If I can't do this tonight and such, I'm gonna do it tomorrow on another video where I can show this off better. Which is probably what I'm gonna end up having to do. So let's see where this goes. If it keeps giving me errors like I'm seeing here, I'm gonna probably cancel this, and I'm gonna cancel the video to try uploading to for you guys to see, and then we'll try this again another time for our next video. But yeah, it's not looking great. Oh no, it's not looking great at all. Please work. If you decide not to work on me, I'm gonna have to do alternative methods. Crap. What you doing? Come on, are you doing it? I can't tell if you're gonna give me an error or what you're doing. Oh, plus it's midnight too, dang it. Oh, man. Gonna be a long day tomorrow. Well, we're not getting errors now, so I'm just gonna let it do its thing, to be honest. I'll hop on my phone, check to see if my friends have messaged me about anything. I know one of my friends was wanting something I have of theirs. Currently sitting here waiting for them, so I'll probably bring that to them tomorrow so they can see that. I'm not getting an error yet, so maybe we're good. I'm trying to wait so you guys can see what message will come up. So when you get the Wireshark message, if you decide to install Wireshark, like I did, you can see what options you have and how it works. That way you aren't skipping over it by accident and putting yourself in a situation you're not comfortable with. So try to wait for that prompt so you can see what it looks like for yourself on the terminal. But it's being really slow due to my internet, so also debating on ending it. So that's why I'm like trying to have patience, but it's a little hard to have patience here right now. So my first IT video of my Stein's IT and Gaming, or Stein's Elite IT and Gaming channel. Hope everyone enjoyed this, to be honest. I hope to continue doing more of this, so explaining this so I can help everyone out who doesn't know this, or people that do know this and need a second opinion or other knowledge that they don't have. So I hope to continue doing this more. But my first video, I hope everyone likes it. Sorry that I'm rubbing my eyes. I have literally salty tears. So when my eyes start to water, it burns quite literally like pepper spray. So I didn't get an error, did I? Oh, good. No, thank God. Thought I looked away and then an error appeared. That would have been bad. Because if I kept getting errors for different packages trying to install, that would have meant I had networking issues I need to work on. So or something wrong with the repository. that I would need to reconfigure. So, but the fact that it's working fine, is just slow, is perfectly okay with me. I'd rather it be slow than have problems. Gonna be a long day tomorrow, and I hope whoever watches this enjoys the video, because this is a long video compared to what I did before. I've mostly done 40-minute videos, but this is way longer than my normal videos, so hope this doesn't take a decade and a half to upload. I modified OBS because I was originally doing low CPU usage, which was increasing this file size. I'm hoping since I didn't do that option, it won't be as big, because the last video I did was, for whatever reason, almost 8 gigs worth of storage and was terrible to freaking upload. So I'm hoping this one, because I chose low CPU usage, will actually have recorded in a small enough amount that it won't take a freaking decade to upload. So I'm doing a lot of cussing on here. I'm sorry. I know that probably shouldn't cuss. YouTube's probably not very happy about this, especially if kids are watching. I apologize for my cussing or my potty mouth. Once again, if anyone has any suggestions, you can give them to me. Don't offer me the swear jar. Like I said, whoever the owner of the swear jar is, gonna be one very rich person by the time I'm done handing in quarters for every word I cuss. So, um, it is definitely a habit I need to get over doing. Alright, I'm gonna black out the screen right now because I'm about to do something with my accounts because I want to see where everything's at. I wonder if anyone's online for a game right now. Nope, nope, nobody's getting online right now. It's just one of those days. Alright, that's fine. Let's do this. Oh, God, it's literally gonna take a decade and a half. You know what? When it pops up and such, I'm gonna end this video right now. When it pops up, I'm gonna take a screenshot on the virtual environment, and then I can just show you an image of it on my next video. That way you aren't having to sit here and wait for this forever, because I'm no video expert when it comes to editing, so I'm not gonna try and even figure that out. So I'm just gonna save you the time and trouble by not having you have to wait for this thing to go through. And these are the applications that are gonna be installed by the time I get done. And yeah, I'll just take a screenshot of the prompt when it gets here. Until then, I guess everyone enjoy, have a good day, and I'll see you next time for some Stein's Elite IT and Gaming. Whether I'm on games such as Fortnite or Warzone or even Minecraft, or whether I'm doing IT stuff like working on computers and software for people, hardware, old computers, fixing up old computers for people, or fixing up their software, or when I'm doing stuff like this, configuring my own software and hardware the exact way I want it to work for my mobile setup. So whether it's stuff like this or anything related to that. So hope you enjoyed your time here and such. Please click the like button or subscribe. That would be really cool. And until next time, y'all have a good evening.